Hey, welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam. I'm outside. I'm outside taking some time on my daily dog walk to exercise and practice some forest bathing. That's right. Forest bathing is a form of nature therapy. It involves nature connection through immersion. And I have available to me a number of resources. First and foremost is experience. I am a certified forest therapy guide, and that is slightly different than the act of participating in forest bathing. Forest bathing, from my experience, from my definition, for my own purposes, so that I can enter the concept differently, is something that you do solo. All right. So when nature prescriptions were first being given to people suffering from different forms of stress, originating in Japan in the 1980s, first doctor wrote the prescription: nature. Spend a couple hours in nature, a couple times a week, and you will be able to better manage your cortisol, reduce your stress, and improve your quality of life, physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually. Forest therapy requires a guided experience so that the participant is removed another layer. The guide holds the vessel for timing, for intention, for safety, for the route, for all those other aspects, and that allows the participant to more deeply immerse and connect without any preconceptions or planning or all that other stuff. So when I'm on my own, I'm going to practice. The other resources I have available to me are the tomes, the collections of books. Prior to becoming a certified forest therapy guide, before I even took the course, once I was enrolled, there was some homework that we were required to do. There was a list of about a dozen books. Yeah, a dozen. I was like, whoa, I was immediately overwhelmed. Outside of the commitment of the 8-day training plus the 6 months follow-up practicum after that, there was a couple months of reading, and I dove right in. Prior to my training, I also participated in a number of guided forest therapy walks, just so that I could understand what it was I was going into. My first experience was probably 8 years ago, and I just dove right in. You can't find a major publication without an article on the benefits of spending time outside, outdoors. You can open a health magazine, whether it be walking, men's health, women's health, nutrition. There are articles monthly in every publication about the benefits of nature, benefits of being outside. And of course, you can visit websites for the Association of Nature Therapy, ANTF, and that's an American organization that they've been around quite a while, that trains forest therapy guides internationally, by the way. And then there is the organization that I participated with, which is GIFT, the Global Institute of Forest Therapy and Nature Connection. And when you go to those websites, you can find a link to find a guide near you. And so no matter where you are on the planet, after the decades or more of training other certified forest therapy guides, there's probably one very near you. All right. And then you can get a link and organize your own guided forest therapy experience. But the books, wow, I mean, that you can just do on your own term, your own way, and help you participate in your own experience. So part of the required reading for me, books like Braiding Sweetgrass. Dr. Quinn Lees, who was the doctor who was responsible for the research in Japan, wrote a number of books on forest therapy. We were reading books on ecotherapy, which encompasses it's like the umbrella concept for forest therapy or nature therapy, which is a small part of it. It involves equine therapy or animal therapy, adventure therapy, right? Things like rock climbing and zip lining. And then there's wilderness therapy, which is used for people who might be incarcerated or youth at risk. Art therapy, horticultural therapy, all these other things that involve aspects of being outdoors for mental health, physical health, emotional health. And they're all resources, they're all tools. I have a number of, I've got a couple decks of cards actually that you can just flip through, hand out, and the images, beautiful. They're often hand painted. So they will inspire you. much the way that the beauty in nature inspires, right? So you can go through the deck. I've got time. Ooh, this one looks interesting. Flip the back. That's what I'm going to do today. So sometimes when I'm out here, I'll just pick 4 or 5 cards at random, pick one up. That's what I'm going to do. All right, a couple moments. There's a couple minutes in each moment, but they are resources so that I don't have to fully be in my head and make that effort, which might be a distraction, lack of focus. And I can switch it up. Just go through the whole deck over the course of a season. The resources are out there. The science is out there. Whether it's a book, a magazine article, a newspaper article, again, formats like this, all right? You can just go to, most guides have a website, and they just have years worth of research and articles that you can participate in. So we all produce cortisol. Cortisol affects our sleep, affects our waistline, brain fog, creativity, focus, all right? So we all have reasons for being anxious, right? Thoughts about what might be pending. And that creates a stress about what hasn't even happened yet. It's out of our control and it's looming. And then we all have opportunities, reasons for depression. That's the stress related to events that happened in the past and we're still ruminating, wishing, hoping that things had gone differently, right? And they affect us. And then there's all sorts of forms of trauma. And by definition, trauma is an uncontrolled, unplanned interaction with malevolence, right? With life-changing events. And there's a lot of us that have those. Some of us started life with that. All right, and you'll have other events in your life, but it's how you manage that. So the act of being in nature, the act of participating in nature connection, nature immersion, requires the intentional act. It's not just standing outside, it's the thing you're doing while you're outside, the intentionality of it, being mindful, being present, gives your brain a flip of the switch and allows you to be in awe. It's actually, in its simplest form, it's a distraction. So that if you can spend 20 minutes to an hour on a guided forest day experience, it might be 2 hours, 3 hours, to really connect with the chemicals that are found, released from trees, other organisms. It really is a change in what's happening to your brain waves, what's happening to your blood pressure, what's happening in your cortisol production. And if you do it, if you actually participate and practice nature connection, it'll change your life, right, in a positive way. So there are resources available to you outside of just what you're doing right now. And thank you for that. I appreciate your time and your energy and your support. But you can Google it. You can find other more experienced, more eloquent speakers than I'm capable of being on this format. They're unlimited. So you can, in fact, go down the rabbit hole and make small changes. It starts with going outside. It starts with making a commitment for small changes to manage cortisol, stress production, and it will affect, right? So just the small efforts, the small changes, right? They do add up, right? You'll be a different person the next day. You will be a different person by the end of the week. And you will start to notice your sleep improve, creativity, focus, right? The processes within your circulatory system, in your ability to interact with your own self, with others over the month, and after a year. So have a greater appreciation of who you are in this great big world of ours. All right, so many resources. I'm still learning, still sharing. So if you haven't started to already, find that rabbit hole. And yeah, don't just take my word for it. All right, please. There's a great big world of science and philosophy, biology and chemistry around nature. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your time, your energy, your support. See you soon.